Pokemon has finally reached its 10th generation, and we're going to talk about it. 30 years is a very long time. I'm like about to be 29, so I basically have been growing up right alongside Pokemon the entire time. Generation after generation, anime, video games, a merchandise empire, Pokemon Go, Pokemon Concierge, whatever your Pokemon thing is. I've been riding this ship so long that we are now 10 generations in and celebrating the 30th anniversary. So for the 30th anniversary of Pokemon, Nintendo put out an entire Nintendo Direct dedicated to all their games. In all honesty, it was kind of lame. It was just a lot of updates, but we did get the Generation 10 reveal. We got new starters, some images from the game, and that's what I mainly want to talk about today. But I'll give a quick rundown of some other stuff I liked. The majority of this entire thing is just updates. Oh, Gale of Darkness is coming to GameCube. You know, that's pretty cool. You know, buy our MP3 player for probably way too much money. I hope you're ready to have a bunch of cartridges just hanging around your house. Pokemon Champions. I'm not a competitive Pokemon player, but if this is like a casual enough game and if I try it and it's a lot of fun, I could see myself getting into it. I like that they have like an accurate view of their fan base right here. Like these are the two separate sides of the same coin I see every day. I'm glad that the big sweaty Pokemon players are getting some representation finally. There's a new Mega Garchomp. He can fly now. He's a floaty boy. That's pretty hype. All right, and then the thing we actually came here to see, Generation 10. They started with these little illustrations. Gen 2, I thought we were getting a Gen 2 game for a second. I was so happy, but you know, Gen 10 is cool too. We love Gen 10. Or we'll see, I should. All the time period. Some are better than others. Look at this Pikachu. This Pikachu is gorgeous. We have What do they be doing with Pikachu, bro? Like, so like did this Pikachu put like makeup on its cheeks this morning or did someone do that for her? Like what happened here? And here it is. It looks, you know, keep in mind, usually during these trailers, this is like the best the game will ever look. And I know it's coming out in 2027, so I'm sure they still have time to beef it up, but I don't see the game looking better than this. And I'm not trying to like be the graphics guy, because obviously graphics don't matter. I'm more concerned with, you know, art style and vibes. I'm a vibes guy, but it just kind of to me looks like a beefier version of what we've already had based on, you know, the locations we're seeing. I'll talk about the trainers here in a sec. Based off the locations we're seeing, I think it's going to be more open world, similar to Scarlet and Violet, but I could be proven wrong. The trainers, you know, I think we're just getting closer and closer to teenagers. These do not look like 10-year-olds, but you know, I'm sure they're going to be customizable. I'm sure these are just like your blank template characters, and they're fine. I like the idea of us going to a more like tropical area again that's not Hawaii. I like, you know, bright colors and underwater. We're going to get an underwater area here in a second. Look at that. We're actually putting a little bit more effort into the water effects here. We like to see that. Showing a lot of locations here. The catching animation, you know, pretty similar to what we've had before. Day and night cycles. You know, getting a nice little set of environments here. That windmill is not going in 2 frames per second. And then the starters, which they just were like, bam, starters. Here's what I think about each one. They're cute, and they look like they're from Pow World. Okay, the first one, we got Brout. You know, it kind of looks like a shaved Torchic, but it's a grass type. You know, kind of basic. Like, I feel like I'll see fan-made Pokemon, and there's like 100, and this one just looks like, you know, just one of them in a lineup of that. With a lot of Pokemon, I have to remember, like, once you find it in plushie form, or sometimes when you render it in different games, it kind of look better than the actual games. But I don't see this being a great plushie or anything. It's not like the best starter I've ever seen, but I have to see its final forms. I have to see it in game. I say that with every starter. But first impression, yeah, this is not great. Pompon, obviously best boy. This is a engineered best boy. This is gonna be the one everybody loves, and they made it that way on purpose. Because look at him, look at him. The thing about this, and I should say this for the grass starter too, they're not super unique designs. How many fire dogs have we had so far? Uh, a grass bird and a fire dog is not how thought we were gonna start this. Because a part of me wants it to stay on four legs. I want it to stay like a big dog, but I also don't want just another Arcanine or another Houndoom. A part of me also wants it just to stay cute. I just wanted to be a best boy forever. This one, Gekwa. I think this is my favorite one so far because it's a water gecko, which is, kind of similar to some things we've had before, but I wouldn't compare it to Swampert or anything like that. Because a lot of Pokemon designs are all round and shiny nowadays. For me, this is like a little bit in the other direction. It's not super simple. It's kind of like right in that middle area, and I do like its eyes. Its eyes are very pretty. But we'll see the final forms before we make our decision. And then we have an underwater area, and to me it looks like you can walk here, which I think would be a nice way to, like, I don't know how they're gonna implement that, but there has to be ways of exploring water levels without just, you know, pulling out your swim Pokemon every time. So if they're able to do that, that would be really cool. But then we get the big reveal, Pokemon wins. And Pokemon Waves. We're gonna pretend like these titles weren't leaked like forever ago. We were hearing about this for the first time. Pokemon wins, Pokemon Waves. For a first reveal, I don't think that was bad. I don't think I was blown away or even really impressed either. And I know it's just a little sneak peek and it's not coming out till next year, and they probably still have a lot to do with this game, but I was hoping a little bit more, we're on a Switch 2, we're on a big beefy console now. I thought we might just get that next level Pokemon game. And to me, this feels only like maybe a smidge in the right direction. Ultimately, Pokemon is always going to be about catching Pokemon, hanging out with your buds, whatever cool game mechanics they implement for that game specifically. But I've made 1,000 videos of ways I would like to see Pokemon go, ways we could, shake things up and make things more fun, and maybe go back to it just being an actual harder and more thought-provoking RPG game, which we have long since left behind. Considering the backlash with Scarlet and Violet, considering that it's not coming out to 2027, and that's like a much bigger gap in time than we've had since a lot of other generations, I think there is a lot more promise with this one than the past two generations. But I need a lot more convincing. I don't even have a Nintendo Switch 2, and this was not convincing enough for me to take that plunge yet. I'm sure I will at one point, but as it stands, I'm not there yet. And then I'm scared of, the usual Pokemon practices. There's going to be a shitty DLC that you need to buy to get all the Pokemon. I'm sure it's not going to be a game key card, but if they did that, that would suck. Or they could charge it $80 like they did Mario Kart, in which case I don't want to support $80 video games. I want those games to fail. But that all remains to be seen. What's important is Generation 10 is finally here. We got to see some glimpses of it. And I love Pokemon at the end of the day. We're 30 years in, and I'm still a big, stupid Pokemon fan that I've always been. And I want to know your thoughts in the comments down below. Are you impressed with Generation 10? Do you think the starters suck? Do you think this is going to be even worse than Scarlet and Violet? Or are you somewhere in the middle like me? Please let me know in the comments down below. And while you're down there, please hit the hype button. A very small little fish in this big YouTube pond. And whenever you hit those buttons, whenever you leave comments, it boosts my little channel. And I can potentially make more videos for y'all. But I'm going to be following this game as it comes out and talking about Pokemon as I always do. So if you have not subscribed, please do that. And until next time, thank you for watching. And with that, I leave you.